we're hearing calls from both sides of the aisle now, including the president, to come back to Washington and do something. That's not what we're hearing from the speaker, though, is it?
Yeah, we're not hearing that from leadership. I think there's a reluctance on the part of Speaker Mike Johnson to bring people off the campaign trail and also to bring up a bill that might not necessarily have full support from the House conference. We've seen Republicans in the past object to emergency storm aid, and it might only take a few people to oppose it that it could suddenly become an issue in this campaign. Remember, both chambers passed some storm aid when they left in the financial spending package right before they left town in September. So I think there's a sense among lawmakers that there is money available for the short term.
Well, so in the longer term, they're going to have to sort out these supplemental funding requests. They'll also have to sort out, as we know, taxes in 2025 when the 2017 tax cuts expire. And it seems we're getting new tax ideas each and every day from Donald Trump, including this, which he announced at the Economic Club of Detroit earlier today.
Today, I am also announcing that as part of our tax cuts, we will make interest on car loans fully deductible. This will stimulate massive domestic auto production and make car ownership dramatically more affordable for millions and millions of working American families.
Clearly targeting a very specific audience there in Detroit, Jonathan, but you layer on Social Security not being taxed, tips, et cetera, et cetera. What is the likelihood that any of this gets through Congress ultimately, even if he wins the presidency?
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to depend. All his proposals, all of Kamala Harris's proposals, they're all going to depend on what shakes out in these Senate and House races and who has the power in which chamber. This one could face trouble even if Republicans control both chambers. I think, there are certain Republicans who I think are going to be conscious of the price tag of all these things. We're already looking at, before this proposal, something in the neighborhood of $15 trillion to extend a lot of the taxes that are already in existence. And if Democrats control it, I could see a lot of opposition to this, especially when you consider, someone who's driving a Mercedes-Benz might get a tax break on their interest. I think a lot of Democrats would have a problem with that.
All right, Bloomberg Government's Jonathan Tamari, thank you so much for joining us. Now, September consumer price inflation data came in hot today, rising 2.4% year on year. So for more on this, joining us now is Bloomberg's Kate Davidson. So, Kate, there's kind of two ways you could look at this. On the one hand, yes, higher than expected. On the other hand, this is the lowest inflation reading we've got since the second month of Biden's term. So pick your poison.
Yeah, it was kind of a mixed report. I think that was probably fair to say. I think that what we saw was the reaction to it was this was hotter than economists expected, right? We have seen inflation kind of resume its downward trend after a little bit of a scare at the beginning of the year, right? It seemed like inflation was reaccelerating, kind of freaked everyone out. Kind of freaked out markets, freaked out the Fed. And it's been comforting that the past few months over the summer, there had been this downward trend. This sort of disrupted that for sure. We've seen now 2 months in a row of monthly core inflation at 0.3%, a little bit higher than was expected. I think for Fed officials, though, they're probably taking this with a grain of salt. At least that's what we heard them saying today. They sort of shrugged off the numbers.
When you add it to the jobs report last week, though, the markets certainly think there's a reason to maybe change the view on what the Fed does the rest of this year. What's your view?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. The Fed officials, they have to provide their forecast for the rest of the year, which we got in September. And so they signaled that what's probably pretty likely, and Jay Powell confirmed this when he spoke not so long ago, that there would likely be a couple of quarter percentage point cuts. So there's 2 more meetings. So that would mean one smaller cut at each meeting. They went for the big one to kick things off. But I think that what this makes pretty clear, is that it's going to be hard. It's hard to see another big 50 basis point rate cut. There was the possibility floated by Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic today. Maybe they could skip a meeting even. So there's obviously different views among the Fed officials on where this could be headed.